Ugh, I know, messy hair day, right? Let's. Oh all right. Yes. Hold on. I gotta figure out how in the hell I'm gonna set everything up for this. Yeah, I don't get it. It's the lighting in here, man. I mean, the lighting for me, it's great. I'm looking around, the lighting's great, but for camera, no. So, figure we could shoot the shit, chit chat, whatever. It doesn't have to be about gig economy. It could be about anything. You know me, just sitting here. I'm working on something right now, and I figured, this is kind of boring just sitting here. I might as well, throw you guys up on a live stream, so I'm not just sitting here by my lonesome doing all this. You guys know me, I like to chit chat from time to time. I'm a people person that doesn't like people, go figure. Hey, Mike! Excuse me? You can make yourself a sandwich if you like.
What are you gonna tell me?
Here.
Socks. You got any socks? No socks. Buy new socks.
Yeah, put your socks away.
Oh.
Can you do that? Thank you. Do you need me to make you something, or are you okay making
Make me
something?
some. Make me some.
What do you want?
Bless me with your good cooking.
Do you want a grilled cheese?
Sure.
Yo, Robert, what's up, dude?
What's up, Robert?
Yeah, give me just a second. All right, so child wants a grilled cheese. I shall make him a grilled cheese. What's going on in your guys' neck of the woods? Man, I look fucking fat as shit. Oh well. Part of going old, right? No, that's just laziness. Yes, Mace, I agree with you. It is utterly lazy. And I just did the dishes last night, so got a nice clean pan here. Oh, forget the cheese. Putting up with the Instacart bullshit. I've been hearing about some stuff on it online. Madison! I'm always so happy to see you. You always put a smile on my face. What is going on, girlie? Yeah, so I've been hearing the Instacart stuff, like, in a bunch of articles and stuff. So what's the deal with it? Like, they're striking and stuff. It's like, I mean, I feel different types of ways about all of it, so. It's like, you got to kind of know what you're signing up for when you tack yourself on. Let's compete. No batches for 2 weeks. All right, hold on. This is not as soft as it could be. That's why margarine is so much better. This butter doesn't spread very easy. Oh, shit. I only wanted it in there for a moment. Okay, that's fine. It's got a little tiny mess to clean up. That was dumb. Mace, what are you doing? I just wanted to soften it, for Christ's sake. Put that in the fireplace. And I'll clean up this one as well. What's up? Oversaturated markets and supposedly bots taking away all the batches. Glad that you used the word supposedly, because it is just all allegations and whatnot. But yes, on a lot of platforms there are bots and such. FFS? What's FFS? What's that? What's FFS? For sure. All right, let's try this again. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Make sure the kid eats all of this, crust included. So you gotta butt everything down. You know, I've had that before. I've had companies. Yeah, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I've heard about that guy. You got to be careful on YouTube. You never know what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say, right? Yeah, I've heard about Dear Leader, and that he is unfortunately, allegedly, no longer with us. We're still waiting for the Koreans to actually confirm that fact, which might take a few weeks. But obviously, the news, news cycles out fast. So I guarantee the people of the country already know it. But then again, it is North Korea, so they're probably not, they're pretty behind technologically. So there are a bunch of villages that have no clue what in the hell is going on. But the dude, during his time in power, killed off so many of his own successors, because it's that family. Now, the people actually in power are actually the political party, but that family has kind of held the power for so long that there, every time a leader dies, it goes in succession, right? For the rest of the family. So he has a kid, but his kid is way too young to rule. I don't know, he's just a child, like a kid, like not even a teenager. So kid can't rule. He killed his uncle and his uncle's entire section of that side of the family. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty nutty. What? Oh, did you hear about?
Hi, friends.
Don't come on, dude. You're gonna get me banned again. App crash on Postmates, can't complete, and Dropbox can't get any new offers. No support from Postmates. Well, there's never really been support from Postmates to begin with, so that kind of goes without saying. Yeah, Postmates has kind of always been garbage. I'm not gonna lie. And that's like the big thing when it comes to a lot of the gig economy stuff, that people one of the number one complaints I get is that there being no support. And companies that once had support are slowly phasing it out. Some of them never had it to begin with. Like, let's take Handy, for example. Handy never really had any real support system, at all. And, Postmates, DoorDash used to have it, and then they slowly started phasing it out. You used to have people you can call as the driver, and then they made it to where the phone number still works, but you as a driver are not allowed to call it. Like, if you have an issue, tough shit, basically, and they don't really tell you how to handle a problem. See, on every platform, no matter which one you go on, there's going to be there's going to be an issue that arises, and you need to be able to, in order for you to do your end of the job, you need to be able to, you need to have some ability to adapt to changing situations. And a lot of those companies, because there's no real support system, there's no official way for you to adapt without, given some sort of clearance or authorization. Grilled cheese. Grilled. You know, there's the bread with the butter, and then there's the one over there. I'm on my way to Sonoma, 2.5-hour drive for 2 AC down. My fave. Oh man, got yourself some good grilled cheese with some tomato soup. That's rain food right there for you. 1, 2, 3. Let's get a nice picture of that. A nice golden brown top. That's what I'm talking about. That right there, that's the color we're looking for. And listen to, hold on, a little ASMR action for you guys. Listen to that sizzle. And then a little. It's a nice even crust on top of it. You know, that's what we make here on Mace Valor. We just make delicious, easy food. It's you can't go wrong with nice, simple grilled cheese, man. Oh my God, I totally forgot about your ear thing. I am so sorry. We had taco salad nice. Most of the gig platforms are down Thursday all day. Damn. Is the cheese melted? It will be. Yeah, it's definitely melted. Oh God, I am so sorry. Wow, that was so rude of me. All right. Mace, you need to be more conscientious of your subs. Absolutely, positively right. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's a crazy time for a lot of gig platforms. It really is. I'm gonna turn the heat down. Oh, not to 4. Let's go down to 5. Oh wait, hold on. We want to do this nice and clean. Oh, that's in the wash. No, it's not. It is right here. A bread knife for a nice even cut. We gotta, well, whatever. And because I'm such a good dad, I will cut it twice in triangles. And because he's a little fat ass, like daddy, we just got new pots and pans because I'm ready to learn how to cook. Oh, look at you be a good little housewife. That is extremely demeaning. How dare you, mate? What's gonna happen to all this gig economy, mate? Worth all this? Look, a lot of things are gonna be changing and adapting and evolving. I know right after the stay-at-home order mid-March, Tackle went under. They basically sent out a mass email to people on the platform and to customers saying, hey, it's been a good ride, but because this whole closure COVID-19 thing, we're closing up shop and we're closing down all future projects and all active projects. So if someone already had a gig lined up for, let's say, a couple days from that point in that email, it was automatically canceled. So it's kind of screwy. Bitch. Chunky tomato soup. Exactly. I said that earlier, right? Yeah, tomato soup. Tomato soup and grilled cheese. That's what's happening, man. I'm telling you. Robert, you got some good taste, my friend. It's very simple. Grilled cheese, man. You can't go wrong with some grilled cheese. Guess what game I'm playing on? Let me guess. Animal Crossing. You know, I've been wanting to play games. I was actually planning to play some Dark Souls today, but was talking with this guy, and I'm in the middle of this project I'm actually doing right now. So, and I figured, hey, since I'm working on something gig economy related, my channel is about the gig economy, so I might as well live stream it a little bit. Even if we don't talk about the gig economy, we could talk about anything and everything. You know me. Love chit chat with you guys. Okay. You have no idea how badly I want to play Animal Crossing, but it costs money. And the fact that you can only have like one island per system kind of pisses me off. So it's like we only have the one Switch. So if if me and Michael want to have our own independent islands, we can't. We have to share one. So put the butter right there. All right. So what do we want to drink with this? Well, not us necessarily. Michael. What do you think Michael wants to drink with this? I think a little chocolate milk. That's good. Yeah, this is just a snack. We actually already had lunch. We made cheeseburgers for lunch. Got the ground beef all set up and all that jazz. Michael! Grilled cheese. No balls. No, I guarantee that the game is worth a lot of money. I'm ready to get back to work in the lovely gig economy. Yo, Nesta, what's up? How you been, man? Michael in the bathroom. Don't get that. No. La, 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 la. Don't get that shit in my head. Here's chocolate milk, bud. You like it?
It's like yummy. Tastes good, Dad.
Good.
Only if you love the shredded cheese.
What?
Is it shredded cheese?
No, it's American cheese. Sliced cheese.
Okay, good. The good thing is not by itself, because I'll do it myself.
Forgot how long it's been. It's been a long while. Put you back over here. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to mess with this lighting too much because I got this shit going on behind me. Breaking into the gig economy, an analysis on success and sustainability utilizing gig workers. My new obsession is dead mom. No, don't even start. Watch, I'm going to get it in my Instagram. I'm going to get like fucking 12 videos of you singing it at the top of your... No, Nate Dogg's going to be holding the damn camera and you're going to be breaking out in a song and dance with light effects and shit and smoke and fire and shit. Yeah, right? All right, so... Remember what happened last time? I got banned for a month. Sorry, bud. Hey, when I get done with this, I'm going to play your Switch for a while, okay? Okay? What game? Or you can play Dark Souls on here.
Okay, never mind. I love Dark Souls, my favorite.
I watch every single one of them. I do. Because I care that much. Yay, that's good. Get all kinds of crazy effects in there. All right, so it's Control A, and then we are going to bold. Control A, and then we are going to bold. I'm just working on a okay. So gig work. What is a gig economy? So I explain that. I'm going to now put in independent contractor. That is let's move this one down. All right. What is an independent contract? No! Wait, did I? Control C, Control Shift C. Okay. Independent contractor. Investopedia. All right, it's from the IRS. Independent contractor defined. If an employer-employee relationship exists, regardless of what the relationship is called, you're not an independent contractor. That's what it boils down to, is relationships. When it comes to... Oh, no. Okay. All right, Madison. Thank you for coming by. Stay safe, both of you. You don't want it?
Give me 1 gallon, 2 full sandwiches. And
I'll take it.
No, I just want to do it. You can have the rest.
You don't want it? Okay.
Because, like, dude, I got 2 sandwiches, so I get one for myself and you. I give you one. She's really good, by the way. No applause.
Okay, so every year when you do your taxes here's the thing, and it's going to be an unpopular thing for me to say, but I'm just going to say it because it's the fucking truth. You don't fucking deserve it. Let me rephrase that. You deserve it. You do not qualify for it. And here, unless every year when you file your taxes as an independent contractor, do you set aside some money to pay into SSI? If yes, then you meet part of the requirements, even though you're an independent contractor. That would more so fall in line with some payroll stuff. But for the most part, gig workers, independent contractors, unemployment, it's like an insurance policy, essentially. Part of your paycheck goes into unemployment, and there's a percentage of that that's matched by your employer. And so both parties put money into the pot for unemployment. So if you get laid off, then you're able to draw back in from the money that was there. Right. No, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you know me. So basically, here's the thing. That money has to come from somewhere. They're doing this program. Right. So the CARE Act, if you actually read through the CARE Act, one of the mandates of the CARE Act was to open up unemployment benefits to also include gig workers. That's on the federal level, though. The states still have to adhere to that. And it's kind of been it's a process, because the way that unemployment works, to include people that are independent contractors, the way that they would pay those things, the way that they would pay out is vastly different from a traditional worker. A traditional 9-to-5 worker that has all their payroll done, it's very easy to calculate for the state, because remember, unemployment comes from the state, not from the federal government. The federal government gave us our stimulus checks, which, yay, for those of you that have received it already. But when it comes to unemployment, that's a state-run thing. So the states have to kind of go in and figure it out. It's more of a process for an independent contractor, since we don't have that information already ready at hand. If you're an independent contractor that, like, let's say, oh, I'm Mace Valor, right? Mace Valor Construction Company, and that's the company that I utilize, and I go through TaskRabbit to do all my work. And then whenever I get paid from TaskRabbit, if that money funnels through the company, funnels itself through a payroll company, which then pays me, the company is the independent contractor, and I'm an employee of the company of which I work for, which TaskRabbit is actually not designed to actually operate that way, because they hire individuals. They don't hire companies. So for the situation being what it is, just as your sole individual being tied into whatever platform that you're on, there's no payroll. We don't do payroll. And because we don't do payroll, there's no way for the government to look, the state government to look and be like, oh, here we go. This is exactly their average earning. So we can calculate what their unemployment would be given this new mandate, even though we don't put money in the pot necessarily. So a lot of states are scrambling to meet the new the new opened requirements for independent contractors to be a part of this. So I know with Nevada, for example, Nevada, they're kind of having a hard time because they're trying to develop an entire brand new system to be able to calculate all this stuff. Because you got to remember, we're talking about millions of Americans that are being affected by this all over the place. And because of that, you need systems in place to take care of this. I know people, that I've talked to since all this stuff happened. Some people have gotten their stimulus checks, some people haven't. And one of the big issues with the stimulus checks is, let's see, that's why you're not doing it yet. They're not set up. Exactly. It's all about trying to verify, because the way unemployment works is it works off of an average. And they base that average off the most that you made in relation to the least amount you made in a certain given amount of time. That's the easiest way for them to calculate a ballpark. So that could, if you've made like a standard set amount, like it's been a hard salary amount for a given length of time, that's what you're probably going to expect, a percentage of that. But let's say an independent contractor, you had a month where you made $4 fucking grand. That's amazing. But then you had another month where you made only $50 fucking dollars. Well, that average between those two numbers is going to tank you because it's not split right down the middle at $2 grand or however much it would be. It's probably going to be in the ballpark when they average everything out because there's a lot of things that they consider. They also, when they calculate our earnings, they also put taxes on top of that. So $2 grand would probably be the median, but then they're going to factor in, okay, so $2 grand a month, every single month for I think it's like 6 months is how they do their calculations. And then taxes and all the payroll stuff that would be on top of that, you're probably going to be looking at a check for about $1,000 a month, averaged out for 4 weeks. And then the 600 on top of that by the new mandate. So, what do you think of that mayor that wants to put you? Well, it's her last year, her last cycle in office, so she's not going to be able to run again. So thank God for that, because if she could run again, here's the thing: everyone wants to open up, but when she came on and did her interview, the one with CNN specifically was fucking garbage. The way she presents herself and the way that she tries to uphold her argument is batshit fucking crazy. Everyone wants to open up. We all want to kind of get back to normal life and everything. The downside is the way that she presented her case, she destroyed the argument for opening up completely, because she was saying, oh, let's be the placebo. Let's be the control group. Let's be the ones to go out there. And if people die, oh, well, dying is a fact of life. That's a horrible way to represent yourself as a city that wants to open up. Fun fact for a lot of people that don't realize this, if the city of Las Vegas opened up, the strip would still be completely closed off. The strip would still be completely dead. Here's a fun fact for you guys. Las Vegas, as you guys know it, when you guys come out to vacation here and stuff, when you're hanging out on the strip and everything, guess what? You're not in Las Vegas. You're in Paradise. Paradise is unincorporated Nevada. That land belongs to the state. The land of the strip all the way up to the airport, that belongs to the state of Nevada. That does not belong to Las Vegas. So if Las Vegas were to open up again, the airport would still be shut down. The fucking strip would still be shut down. And the vast majority of people that work in Las Vegas work on the strip. So because of that, the strip's not going to open up anyway. So you open up the rest of the town. Yeah, there's still not you're probably going to have maybe a third to a half of the people that are unemployed. Actually, no, I would say probably a third is a lot safer, because I would say probably 70% of the workforce that is unemployed right now worked on the strip. So because of that, even if you open up the city, most people are still not going to be going back to work. So it's a horrible argument for her to have to begin with. For Las Vegas, because Las Vegas, most of the people work on the strip. So if the strip stays closed, doesn't matter if the rest of the city opens, the strip is still closed. Therefore, damn near almost everyone's out of work. The only way to open up the strip is for the governor to release it open, because the strip belongs to the state, not the city. So just a little fun fact for you guys. That actually goes back decades. Back when Las Vegas was ruled by the mob, basically, they didn't want to pay taxes to the city. So they opted into being like, they rallied to just stick with the state. So they only pay state taxes. Not that they pay any taxes to the city anyway. There is no income tax, but there are certain corporate taxes and stuff like that on land and this, that, and the other, like property taxes and stuff. Property taxes for the casinos is fucking insane, but they save so much money by not having to pay property taxes to the city, only property taxes to the state. Hmm. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really good. Yeah, even if they did. Before Las Vegas had its first case of COVID-19, before any of the closures or anything like that, they were already closing down conventions. You know, there were certain hotel chains that were already closing up shop. Like, well ahead of it, they knew. Who Bugs Siegel ran it? When Bugs Siegel ran it. Oh, yeah. Las Vegas back in the day? Las Vegas has crazy history, man. Oh, Jesus. Oh, wait, let's see what. Okay. Yeah, questions, comments, concerns, hit me, guys. Yeah, I've attempted to do Instacart, never got any hours. I did the whole sign up thing. I got my shit in the mail, but I could never find any hours to do any of it. So I said no to it. And then shortly after that, I found Handy and did Handy, and then eventually was able to get on TaskRabbit. Am I still doing TaskRabbit? And I've said this like a billion times. I haven't done TaskRabbit in God knows how long. And especially with all this COVID-19 stuff, haven't been doing anything anyway. Just been hanging out. So if you guys want to help a brother out, my Venmo is at Mace Valor. Just throwing that out there. Nah, but for real though, it's like with everything closed, not really anyone's hiring anyway. Where's my OnlyFans, right? Yeah, I'll send you guys some fucking. I don't understand the OnlyFans stuff. I really like. On one hand, I get it. I mean, it's like you could think to yourself, like, oh, these guys make no sense. Just go watch regular erotica or porn or whatever. But I understand. It's like I am attracted to this individual. This individual I find to be very attractive, more than just their body, and it. You know, they're this cool, sexy individual. Like they're beautiful inside and out. I want to see that person naked, see that person sexy, you know? Yeah, all the time. So it doesn't make sense that you get the attraction to that individual, so you want to see that individual naked. So you'll throw all this money. But a lot of those OnlyFans girls, like whenever they do like get paid to send pictures, they like put little stars or hearts over the bits, so they don't actually really show anything. Which they're like, oh, maybe if I pay them more money, they'll show something. It's like once you know, you'll fuck off to the entire notion of it. But it's never really something I thought for myself. It's kind of like a lot of those people that follow Twitch streamers, like the titty streamers, just because like they're showing cleavage. It's like, I mean, if that's what brought you here and that's what's keeping you here, I mean, you're not really going to get any of it. Batches show for 2 seconds and disappear. Well, here's the thing. When it's not just you, but tons and tons and tons of other people, you're not alone. You're not the only one looking at it. So yeah, it might show up 2 seconds for you, but it probably showed up a little bit longer for someone else. So someone probably claimed it before you. I'm not saying that there's no bots. Of course, there's probably bots, but let me open up Discord. My buddy just hit me up. Oh my God. Yeah, I got the notification. I didn't know if, I didn't know how long it would take you. I thought you were gonna do it tomorrow, but thank you. I'll definitely check it out once I get some time. Came in clutch for backup vocals? No way, I got it. Well, obviously I can't look until I end the stream, so I'm gonna like it. So I've hardly ever heard that guy speak, so it would be really nice to hear him, hear his range. You feel me? I feel you, Joanna. It's okay. Our talent came in clutch. Contract. Whoops, I spelled employee wrong. All right. Make that nice and big. Actually, yeah, that's a little better. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You really nailed his role. Stevie Teapot vocals, nice. Yeah, the bot. Supposedly a third-party app is collecting the batches and people are paying to get the batches. Well, here's the thing though. So, from my understanding, I don't really know if it can work like that because the way that everything works with Instacart, it's just like Amazon Flex and a lot of those other ones that have batches that come out. The way it works is it's like, oh, here is a job. Do you want it? Yes or no? And then you click on it. If you click on it, you accept it. Then at that point, that job is then tied to your account. You can't do anything with it. So if a third-party app is pulling these jobs, there's no way for that third-party app to then disperse it to someone else. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be the third party. I have an automated system with my account that clicks on every single job that comes in. And also there's a scheduling conflict. So if there's multiple jobs that might overlap one another, the normal person, you won't be able to click on both of them because they're overlapping within that same platform. So the way it would work is there would have to be multiple different accounts that scour and they all collected at the same time. But once all my accounts click on those jobs, I cannot transfer them. Exactly. That's the next part I was getting to. So I've actually been I have a YouTube video that explains this because I broke down the email that I got from this company. But this company sent me an email and they're like, "Hey, we have an automated system that we use your login information, we get you jobs, and then you go and do it." And they want and the amount of money that they want is like 300 per week, which you're probably not going to be making that much anyway. So let's say I work on average because the way the Amazon Flex system was set up is you could get a job and me a 5-hour job I could finish in 2.5 hours. So by the time I'm done with it, I cannot accept another job until the timer has ran out on that initial agreement, which was kind of screwy. Even though I've done all the packages, I've turned everything in, I cannot accept another one. So no matter how long I wait trying to tap until that timer goes up, that's it. Try undocumented there. Yeah, that's another thing too. I've noticed a lot of foreigners utilizing the platform, and I'm not trying to be that guy. It's like they took our jobs. I'm just being honest. It's like a lot of these independent contractor jobs. There's not a lot of information you really have to provide. I mean, half of these companies never even ask for your social security number. Half of these companies don't ever do background checks. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. They say that, oh, everyone's verified. No one's verified. I haven't had any batches in a week and a half. That sucks, dude. I know that with Amazon Flex, it was about between 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning is when a lot of batches would come out for that day. Sometimes you would get lucky, and in the middle of the day, you would get a notification that says, "Hey, batches are ready," and you'd be able to go select for the week. I always had open availability, so because my availability was open, jobs that would come up like kind of in the middle of the day, which middle of the day is from 7 to 2, or no, from 10 to 2, that window. Anything earlier than that, you kind of have to do automatically. But so I had open availability, so my schedule would just get full. So I got lucky with that. But some days I wouldn't, and those would be the mornings I'd be tapping away. An independent contractor is a person or entity contracted to perform work for or provide services to another entity as a non-employee. The relationship is based off an agreed contract between both parties rather than a long-standing employer-employee relationship. So I'm not trying to get too crazy because most of this is going to be talking. I'm just trying to put up stuff to... Yeah, I'm getting so sidetracked with this. I'm not going to lie. I feel you, Joanna. How's the book doing? Bittersweet. I haven't made any money on it, unfortunately. Because of advertising costs, which my last stream, you guys kind of saw the headache with that. Is that they're charging me, even though that's an issue between me and Amazon I'm trying to fucking iron out. But aside from that, yeah, that's the problem. No one's picking up the book. It was free for the last week, and I had none of my subs picked it up, but I had a bunch of strangers pick up a copy of Shelter. So I had one person order a paperback, and a whole bunch of people got the book for free on Kindle. So I think in the last week, probably about 200 to 300 copies of it were sold. I didn't make any money on it because they were free. And at the same time, even if those were sales, it wouldn't be a lot anyway, because the Kindle version's only $1 and the paperback, literally The paperback I make zero on. I'm completely flat. So the cost of production and shipping, uh, I've made it so low in price that if I made it any lower, I would have to pay, so because Amazon takes their cut, there's the manufacturer costs and the shipping costs. So it's $5.99 for a physical copy of the book. I'm not making a penny on it. And the reason why I'm doing that, some people are like, oh no, you wrote it, you should charge more. It's like, absolutely, you're right. But I'm also a first-time author. So part of that, audio book of it and put it on YouTube. I need to have time to do that. I don't have any editing software or anything like that. I have this potato computer. I have the mic, which is fine, and I can record, but formulating a video is not really a possibility right now. But that is something I do plan to do, to have audio. And the thing is, if I'm going to do doing an audiobook of it, I need to kind of have time to read the lines several times, edit down what I need to edit down, and make it appropriate. So let me just flip to like a random page. There. Chapter 9, Sympathy for the Devil. I watched the sun slowly rise over Lake Michigan while standing in line on the bridge connecting the northern and southern halves of Chicago, our makeshift demilitarized zone. The barricade before me struck a sense of awe. A rusted sheet metal gate covered the roadway with razor wire laced over the top. At each pole attached to the gate were watchtowers made from shipping containers. Unlike the parts of the barricade set up along the Chicago River, the entrance to the north was designed in such a way that the setup looked intentional. Cops were posted with rifles scanning over the growing crowd near the checkpoint. There was a point in my life where the very sight of such a thing would frighten me, but I had since grown accustomed to the new normal. Just another day in Chicago with someone new behind the trigger. Nothing new to me anymore. So you could see that, oh, it's okay, it sounds fine. It doesn't really, if you're trying to listen to it and I'm like stuttering or kind of flipping over my words a little bit. I need to do multiple readings of it to make sure it's appropriate. But that is something I do plan to do. I would love to have chapters of my book put out on YouTube, but I just need time to do that. I could do that on the iPad when I get home. I just need to find time. So we'll get there. I'm not worried about it. Shit, where else was I? Yeah, so no, my thing is, I do want to throw it out there, but I don't want it to be half-assed. I don't want anything I do to be half-assed. It's like 5 hours long, probably. Let's see. I think recording just part 1. Remember, there's 2 parts. I haven't released part 2 yet because I'm kind of waiting for some other XYZ things. But part 1 will take about, I think it'd probably be about 6-7 hours. I think. I can't. There's a mathematical thing that tells you the number of pages and the word count and how long it should take. I think, maybe 6 or 7 hours, depending on how quickly I read it. So, but we'll see. Yeah, I do have an idea for what I want to do with it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I'm still alive. Haha, that's funny. But yeah, the overall, at least people are fucking picking the book up. The thing is, though, and I'm telling you guys, if you could at least, if you wanted to support me at all, if you guys could check out the book. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get the book for free right now. Get the book, read it if you want. Hell, reviews will help more than anything else. If you go on Kindle Unlimited, you get a copy of my book, and then you review it. You get that verified purchase review, and that'll help me like you have no idea. That'll help me literally more than anything else because I need reviews for the book. That's what's holding me back. That's holding me back in the algorithm from actually being seen. So that's why I have Streamlabs constantly posting it up. It's like, hey, I just need people to read the damn thing. You know, I'm at the point where I'm not making any money on it. I just want people to read it. I want feedback. I want to know what people think. And I want it to get seen. I want to kind of make this my life. But in order to do that, people have to see it. They can't see it unless it has more reviews. It has 3 reviews right now, but only 1 of them is verified. So that doesn't really help for the algorithm for finding my book. So it's kind of where we're at. But aside from that, any other questions, comments, concerns? You guys hit me with whatever. You know me. I love chit chatting about anything and everything. So, and I'm sorry about the lighting, but there's not really much I can do about that. Let's see. The ABCs of employee benefits. No. ABCs of ABC test for independent contractors. There we go. Oh, speaking of which, let me actually go back. I want to take a look at those stats real quick. KDP, self-publishing, sign in. All right, let's take a look at these reports for like the last few days. Oh my God, it's gonna make me, ugh. I always say keep me signed in, but it always wants me to re-verify every fucking time. Ugh. Okay, so yeah, as soon as the book was no longer free, it went back to 0. But it is what it is. But let's see. I had today, someone has read 60 pages on Kindle Unlimited. So that's really cool. Yeah, so like even on Kindle Unlimited, you don't make a tremendous amount of money on. You do make a little bit. I think make maybe $2 a month on Kindle Unlimited, but at least hey, people are fucking reading the damn thing, right? So I just wish I had some feedback. I wish that I had some reviews. You know, like people that like give me their opinion. Like I'm waiting for a complete stranger, someone I've never spoken with, someone I never met, that complete stranger to leave a review because it's completely unbiased. It's just them as a reading aficionado or whatever, and I can get their take on it. You know, that's what I'm waiting for. That's like that moment. Let's go back to the bookshelf. Let's go here. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Look at all these verified purchases. So one of the people that actually reviewed my book, because you can see like what people reviewed as well. This person, I am the only review that they have left that was not a verified purchase review. So it's like kind of weird. There's one, and then another. Let's take a look. Anon has left literally 1 review. And it was just mine. Oh, it's funny. And they're following 13 people. Beauty, style, fashion, fashion accessories, home decor, home offices, storages, makeup, career beauty projects, fall fashion, technology, drones, pets, home automation, pets and animals. Interesting. You see a lot, like there's crazy how much info there is out in the world. Think we're going to recover quick, or is it going to be rough for years? I don't think years necessarily. It is going to be rough initially because you got to remember when things do open up and people start going back to work, the people that already have been working that are like where their life hasn't changed that much, they're going to have disposable income. The people that are just going to be finally going back to work, At Las Vegas, there's a lot of people that work at the casinos. I used to do work for people that were blackjack dealers and stuff. Those people aren't working right now. So if things were to go back to normal, it'd be a long time before those people even had enough extra money to spend on having a handyman come out. So it's gonna ebb and flow. When it does open up, some people that already have disposable income, they're going to be more receptive to having people come in their home. But to people that haven't had disposable income for some time, those are going to be the ones that it's going to take a while before they even think of hiring someone, unless it's like an emergency basis. So overall, it's going to be nutty. I'm not going to lie. I can't say for sure, but it's going to be rough for a while, and you're gonna see like TaskRabbit, for example, the average price is going to go down because people are not going to have that much money. They're going to want to conserve what money they have. So because of that, the amount that people are willing to spend on a tasker, that price is going to go down. They're not going to be willing to spend $40 to $50 an hour to have someone come out. They're probably going to be looking at anywhere from 20 to 25, maybe $30 an hour for any given market. Some markets are going to be easier to bounce back than others, like New York City, for example. Living in New York City and San Francisco, it's already expensive as it is, and this whole economic situation makes things a lot harder. But when things start going back to where they are, that economy hasn't changed much. The housing market in those areas is still ridiculously expensive. That has not changed at all. And because that hasn't changed, people still got to pay that much to live there. People are going to still like, hey, I got to pay like $3,500 a month for my fucking studio apartment. I'm not accepting anything below $100 an hour, so you don't see a lot of people in San Francisco or New York City going for $20 an hour. It's just not viable. Is it a good time to buy a house now? Right now, no. Are our rates going to go down though? So your rates only go down if you make it go down. So your rate is currently where it's at. I just mean the average that people are willing to pay. You're going to see a lot of taskers that like let's say in Vegas, for example, taskers that used to be at $40 an hour. I've seen them still trying to task out there that have moved down to the $30 range, where before they were like $40, $45 an hour. You're going to see them willing to take a cut on how much they're going to take an hour just so they can get any work at all. But that really depends on the market. They're not going to force our prices down because the whole premise of that platform is for us to kind of do whatever the hell we want. Page, he started a template page. So anyone, oh, that's kind of cool. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, and as far as housing goes. Yeah. All right. So prime example. So the time of year that I had money to buy a car was a very bad time of year. During the summer months, summer months are like the best time for almost anything because there's like a lull, right? Because the end of the year, people are spending a lot of money on all different kinds of things. In the beginning of the year, they don't have money for anything because after the holidays. So buying a car right after Christmas isn't bad. But then like mid-February, when people start getting their income taxes back, their tax returns, it's a horrible time because a lot of people selling cars realize people have money now. So I'm going to offer my car for more than it's actually worth, probably negotiate down to what it is actually worth, and then go from there. But it's really hard because a lot of people, it's like, hey, I know you have money. I'm not gonna, let's see. Yeah, so That's actually kind of weird. Prices are going to go lower, but getting a loan is going to be hard to get. Yeah, that part is true. But here's the thing that I've noticed with the houses. The housing market, if you look at the MLS, which not a lot of people have access to, it hasn't really changed. Since this whole kerfuffle has happened, people are still buying and selling homes. It's not as easily operated as the way it usually is because not a lot of realtors are going out showing out houses and stuff. But the housing market really has not been fucked with too much, and that's because a lot of people haven't defaulted completely on their mortgages yet. You have a lot of banks, there's wiggle room. You can go a couple months without paying your mortgage. You'll get feed out the fucking ass and it's not going to look good on your credit report, but you're not going to get evicted by your bank for not paying your mortgage once or twice, Let's see, 0 interest for 84 months and they pay the first. Well, see, that's the thing for newer vehicles. I still couldn't afford a new vehicle. There's a lot of things you have to factor into a new vehicle that I just wouldn't be able to afford, especially with my credit score. So, but even still, right now into a couple months from now, it's going to be a little bit more beneficial for me to be able to get a newer vehicle from the financial eyes of it, because you're right, they are trying to incentivize people to buy vehicles, because right now it sucks for them. It's really hard. They're not able to sell anything. There's no one working at the goddamn dealerships, so well, it kind of depends on where you're at, whether they're essential or not essential, whatever, right? But that whole industry is really, really suffering right now, especially people aren't fucking driving right now. If you're not driving and you're staying at home, why are you going to go out and get a new vehicle? Because you're to leave it at home and not drive it. It makes no fucking sense. So the auto industry has been hurt pretty fucking bad. So because of that, they're trying to adjust fire the best that they can. Now that doesn't change those deals are offered by the manufacturer, but at the end of the day, the dealership is still going to try to fuck people however they can. Dealerships are not going to let up on the way that they swindle people. The housing is fine now, but 6 months after the lockdown, there's going to be mad foreclosures. Yes, once the moratoriums get lifted on evictions and foreclosures and stuff, it's good. That's the one thing I know for sure is right now we're not seeing it because everything's kind of on pause. There are tons of people out there that because of the mandate that they can't get evicted, they're just not paying rent, which means that they can't evict you right now you can still get evicted for certain things, but if you don't pay, that's the one thing that they cannot evict you for. They cannot evict you for not paying. That doesn't mean that you don't owe the money. So if you don't pay, then you're going to owe the money, right, for living there. And once the moratorium gets lifted, you're going to see a bunch of eviction notices. As soon as that moratorium is up, the people that haven't paid, they're going to be slapped with pay now or you're evicted. And they have like maybe a 24, 48-hour window to pay up or at least establish some kind of payment plan or something like that. And those that don't do it, they're going to instantly be going to court. Because a lot of these housing places are like, hey, fuck it, we'll just get rid of you and get someone that can afford to live here. So you're mostly going to see this with apartment complexes. Landlords like my mother, for example, people that are private landlords, people that have investment properties, rental properties and stuff, those people are going to be a little bit more lenient, a little bit more lax on figuring out solutions because no one wants to go to court. When you're a larger company, like if you own multiple apartment complexes and it's a company that owns all these different things and manages all this stuff, yeah, it's more beneficial for you to just take all these fucking people to court. But, most tenants and landlords in, investment rental home property scenario, they're a little bit more open with talking with one another. So those deals will kind of be ironed out before the moratorium is even lifted in the first place. So, but that's definitely something that we're going to see. We're definitely going to be seeing people just really hard up one way or another. So everyone's going to try to get their slice of the pie. And the thing is about this stimulus check, and I've seen people online bitch about it. It's like, well, I still got more. It's like, look, man, I understand you're upset that you can't fucking go to work. That sucks. If I were in your position, I'd be fucking pissed, okay? Because you got to be able to make your fucking money, right? So the government didn't have to fucking do this, but they knew that it'd be better for the economy overall if, hey, let's let the country go into even more debt so that we can save our economy. We'll give you guys money for the time being. Also, we're also going to incentivize for the people that are staying at home to, hey, if you can't go to work right now, you got laid off, whatever, we're going to strengthen the amount of money you get by being unemployed. So between the stimulus check and the way that unemployment works right now, you could actually make more money from being unemployed than you ever did actually being employed for the average American that would fall under those criteria. Given fucking said that, it's not the government's responsibility to just keep fucking handing you out money. Is it smart? Yeah, because the government's looking long term. How is their economy going to be able to benefit from this? If we give a stimulus check to people, that stimulus check is not just like, oh, here's money for you. That money is, and I said this before in another stream, that money is for the economy. The way that we stimulate the economy is we put money in people's pockets, they take that money and they spend it. They spend it on utilities, they spend it on food, they spend it on gas for their car if they are going out, let's say, to go get food or some shit. They spend that money. You give money to people who have to spend it. You give someone a stimulus check, they use a portion of that stimulus check to pay their bills. They use a portion of that stimulus check to buy food. They use a portion of that stimulus check to pay their fucking rent. It stimulates the economy. That's what the whole premise of a stimulus check is. It's not for you to go and buy a fucking Xbox with. But technically, if you did that, that would actually be doing what it's supposed to do anyway. That money is for us to keep the economy afloat. Now that's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This is the thing. Oh my God. So don't get mad at Trump. Don't get mad. As much as I even want to get mad at the Democrats, I have to be honest, I can't. So here's the deal. When the stimulus checks were put out, part of the whole CARE Act thing was the whole PPP, the Payroll Protection Program. And the Payroll Protection Program, when it initially came out, was designed for small businesses. But because of legalese and they had to write it out a certain way, they tried to cover all bases the best that they could in a very, very short amount of time. So it wasn't Trump's fault. As much as I want to blame the fucking Democrats, entirely not exactly all their fault. At the end of the day, what ended up happening is you have this huge fucking thing that you have to like. The booklet is like probably 500 or 600 fucking pages on the CARE Act alone and all the stipulations within it. Once that went out, all these major corporations, oh, we can get a shitload of money. What's the cap? $10 million? Holy shit. Well, how do we have access to that free fucking money? They looked at the CARE Act, they saw all the stipulations, and they're like, okay, perfect. So one of the things that they did is instead of accounting for all their individual employees, they accounted for their subsidiaries. So their subsidiaries were accounted as employees instead of just a standard subsidiary. Some companies were able to count just their subsidiaries, and then the subsidiaries would then list out its employees, which were below the 500 threshold, so that company was able to get $20 million instead of just the 10 million, because it had those subsidiaries filed. That's why the money evaporated so quickly, because these big corporations that originally did not fit the criteria as intended were the ones applying. That's why that money evaporated so quickly. That's why they did a second revision of it to put in more money, with more strict regulations on it, which that's how it should have fucking been. The PPP was designed for small businesses, for mom and pop shops and shit like that. It wasn't meant for Walmart. It wasn't meant for McDonald's. It wasn't meant for fucking Boeing. Okay. The PPP was meant for small businesses. Now, larger corporations and stuff, there have been, since this fucking shit happened, there have been talks and communications about government bailouts, but Trump's version of the government bailout had to do with ownership. So the idea is, and he talked about this early on with the airlines in his briefings. He's like, yeah, I think it would be wise for us to bail them out. However, in line with that bailout, there will be a level of ownership by the U.S. government. Essentially, the taxpayer, since we're bailing them out, that we would then own these companies, or at least a portion of these companies. So the way that bailout would have been, like the way that Trump was presenting bailing out these companies was, we'll bail you out, but a certain percentage of stock in your company is now going to be owned by the U.S. government. You want us to bail you out? We'll bail you guys out nice and fair, but we're going to be owning a part of your company. And that's ideally the best way to do it. That would cause for a whole mess of shit because I do prefer private enterprise over, too much government. Could you imagine if the airlines were like mass transit and the government had control of that? We've seen mass transit and how fucking shit it is, and that's a lot of it's state run. And but I digress. I would want to say that the company knows what's best for itself, so that it would probably be more mindful of what it's got going in and out of itself. But fuck it, man. I'm just rambling at this point. The stimulus check is barely, going to cover people's late cell phone bills. I mean, I guess it depends on how much your fucking cell phone bill is. Jesus Christ. I know at Verizon, you can go on Verizon and into your account, and there's a link that you click on. You fill out this little form. It's all automated too. So as soon as you fill out the form, you just basically say, "Hey, I'm affected by coronavirus, whatever." It waives all your late fees and any payment for X amount of time. Your bill still goes up during this time, but no late fees, anything like that. Like they're trying to work with you. They want people to keep their fucking phones on. They don't want to take that away from people. But at the same time, though, if you're using the service, you got to fucking pay for it. So, man, I am sorry. I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And actually, I'm actually going to wait until later to finish up. So I'm going to save it. No, wait. How do I? Shit. Oh, untitled presentation. Breaking it there. Let's start that. Let me just wait for us to load because it does not want to load. There we go. Let's close out of that. All right. All right, so I'm going to be bouncing because I got other stuff I got to do. But as always, Minnesota Glorious, love, Miss Valor, signing off.